how do you create a minimalist budget that allows you to spend less and save more, which is like the most important part here, because we know a lot of people here, most of us used to spend a lot more money than we made and then literally spend nothing whatsoever. So this is the big issue here that we have to fix. Now, I'm going to tell you in this video exactly how to fix this, and I'm also going to give you a budget to eradicate all your debt, because that's one of the most important things. On top of that, guys, the only person that benefits from you having debt or like buying things you don't need to buy, well, it's the companies, okay? They benefit when you buy things, they benefit when you have credit card debt, they benefit from all this stuff, but you're not benefiting whatsoever. So in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to create a budget, a minimalist budget, that allows you to do everything you need to do that benefits you and only you and your family, obviously. But it's all about you, okay? Now, if you guys don't know me, my name is Tommy Bryson. I'm an accountant, and I make videos here on YouTube every single day. Yes, I said daily content. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Hit the like button while you're at it. I really appreciate it. And I want to ask you guys a question. Comment yes if you have a budget. Comment no if you don't have a budget. Now, be honest. Saying like, oh my gosh, I spend this much money, it's not a budget. A budget is something physical that you keep track of every single month, every single payday, okay? Comment down below, be honest, and I'm gonna give you one right now. Now, the first thing I actually want to break down is a very funny story, and it's, hey, why are budgets so important, Tommy? I don't even need them. I make money, I just spend less, I just save the rest, right? That's about it. No. It doesn't work like that. You know, when I was 17 and I was in high school, no one could tell me to budget, okay? I thought that budgets were for old people, people that didn't know how to manage their money, you know, dumb people, basically. You know, and that led me to a very dark hole. You know, because I didn't budget whatsoever. I just bought whatever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to, very irresponsibly, honestly. And then 2 years after that, I was 19, I was in college now, and guess what happened? I was in college and I had around $3,000 in credit card debt. I owed around $20,000 in student loan debt, and I made around $60, not $60 an hour, $60 a week. Okay, and I obviously had a big problem on my hands, so I needed to fix this. And how did I fix this? Well, well, 3 years later, after that, I started budgeting, you know, and all that fancy stuff, and now I can tell you this. I don't have bad debt, and I have a ton of investments, and I focus on one thing. What can I do to benefit me in financial freedom? That's my main focus here, right? So I started out with no budget, then I started out getting into trouble for it, and now I have a budget. I'm not limited whatsoever, guys. Listen, I'm a baller. I bought this brush, this thing right here, also about like 2 days ago. I spent some heavy money on this stuff, okay? But seriously, guys, I buy whatever I want to buy whenever I want to buy it, but it has to be within my budget, because again, the only person that benefits from me buying like expensive stuff all the time is the companies, not me. I'm here for me because I want financial freedom for myself, and you should want the same. It's all about your financial freedom and your family's financial freedom. Now, I want to ask you a question. At what age can you look back and say to yourself, well, you know, that's the age where I messed up? You know, for me, it was when I was 17. That's when the habit started. Then 19, I got into trouble. And now that I'm at this age currently, well, I'm not getting into trouble anymore. I know how to manage my money, because I know that back then, it was one of the worst days of my life, because again, you know, I was making $60 a week and I couldn't pay for anything, okay? So at what age can you link it back to say like, hey, this is where I actually screwed up? Comment down below, let me know. Now, let's start breaking down how the minimalist budget actually works, and let's break down everything here, okay? Now, the first thing I want to say is this, guys. You got to be serious about this. You got to want it. If you don't want it, just stop watching right now. It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to help you, okay? But if you want to change, then it's going to help you. Now, the first step is defining your why and your goals. Now, I'm going to tell you how to actually define your goals every single day. But for right now, I want to focus on one thing, and it's why. Why do you want to budget? You have to ask yourself exactly, why do you want this? Because if you don't know why you want it, you won't be able to achieve it. Why? Because it's hard. So if you don't know why you want it, when the rough days actually come in, which it will, you're going to tell yourself like, well, you know, it's not really that important. I'll do it another time. No. Once you have a powerful why, you're going to want to do it every single day, and you won't stop. And consistency is key to all this stuff. Now, my strategy is this. Ask yourself why 7 times until you get to that point. Then you're going to get from like a superficial answer right here to, oh, I just want money to have money, to down here to the deep layer of like, this is why I actually want money. It's going to probably make you cry, but you have to get to this layer right here because it's the most important part. So again, ask yourself why at least 7 times to get to the reason to why you actually want to make a change in your life. Now, how do I define my goals, Tommy? Well, it's 3 categories: daily, monthly, annually. Tommy, I don't want to think about things daily. No. Here's how I do it, guys. I have 4 categories when it comes to my goals: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Every single day I work on health, making sure I'm healthy, going to the gym, making sure I'm okay, because that's the most important part here, okay? Then you have wealth, making sure I'm working on my business, making sure I'm making more money. All that stuff is important. Love, making sure I have my girlfriend intact, making sure my family's intact, making sure all that stuff is balanced out. Now, if you're telling me, Tommy, I can't afford a girlfriend right now, I can't afford a boyfriend, then my answer to that is this. Okay? You make sure to watch this video because you need this video more than anyone here. Now, the fourth thing is this, guys, happiness. I get happiness from doing all these activities every single day. I don't get happiness from a feeling. Why? Because here's my thing. When you rely on happiness for a feeling, you can't really get that feeling every time. So you want to rely on happiness from an activity. That way you can actually get that activity every single time, and you can control your happiness every single time also. So now we covered that, and you know exactly how to define your goals, the why, and how to actually distribute everything. Let's cover the second step here, guys. And it's actually, well, you want to audit yourself. Now tell me, what do you mean by auditing? Well, an audit is when you take responsibility for everything in your life. So I want you to do 4 things. I want you to grab a piece of paper. Hopefully not one that looks like this bad, okay? Because this one is a really bad piece of paper. But I want you to grab a piece of paper, and I want you to write down 4 things. The first thing is this: income. How much money do you earn, and where does it come from? Write it down. No matter how low or how high it is, it doesn't matter. Just write it down. What is your income? Put it down there on that sheet. Now, the second thing is this: you want to write down your expenses, but I want you to separate them from needs to wants. A need is shelter, water, food, internet, rent. Things like that are needs. Anything beyond that is not a need. Your car is not a need. Your subscriptions are not a need. Your cable is not a need. Your fancy toothpaste is not a need. Like, none of that stuff are needs. But just write it down. Write it down right there onto the wants and separate it from the needs, and just write down everything like that, okay? Those are all your expenses. Now that you have that covered, I want you to grab another column and write down your debts from low balances to higher balances. Once you have that covered, you're ready to go. I'm going to give you a strategy right now. But again, guys, remember, 4 things you need to do here: income, expenses in 2 categories, needs and wants. Be honest, because if you're not honest, this is not going to help you. Again, you need to be honest with yourself. Now, the 4th thing is actually your debts. Very important. Write down all your debts from low to high. I'm going to tell you why later on in the video. So just be a little patient, okay? Now, the 3rd step is time for the strategy. Now, by far one of the most important parts here, because if you don't have a strategy for anything, you're not going to succeed. You need a blueprint, you need a strategy, you need a plan. If you don't have a plan, then you're out the window. You're not going to succeed. But here's the strategy, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. The first thing is this: you need to get 9 envelopes. If you can't get envelopes, that's fine, doesn't matter. Or you can go to a bank, like a small bank. Only small banks allow this, not BOA, not Chase. They don't allow this. But if you go to a small bank like Key Bank, Apple Bank, like the small banks that actually let you do whatever you want to do. Well, when you go to that bank, you tell them, hey, I want to open up 7 different checking accounts under one account. They'll tell you, why do you want to do that? And I'm going to tell you right now, why do you want to do that? Well, these 7 accounts are as follows. You have to have 1 for income, 1 for emergencies. By the way, emergencies are, hey, I can't afford anything anymore because I lost my job and I'm dead broke, okay? Those are emergencies. Now, the 3rd thing is investments. Things that are guaranteed to make you money, not Bitcoin, okay? I'm talking about real investments that make you money guaranteed. Now, the 4th one is debt. This is the account we're going to use to cover all your debts and pay back and eradicate debt completely. It's very important to actually do this one. Now, number 5, expenses. To pay back all those needs that you actually need into your life, not the wants. Only the needs. 6 is actually fun money. You need fun to actually balance out everything, because if you're just like miserable doing all this stuff, you're not going to enjoy it, then you're just not going to do it anymore, okay? I want to be honest with you. You need to have fun at all times. Now, the 7th account is actually, guess which one it is? Charity. Don't tell me you can't afford to give anyone money, blah, blah, blah. That's just a mistake, blah, 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 okay? No. I want you to stop making excuses right now, because I'm going to show you a way to actually donate money that's not going to hurt you whatsoever. Or don't tell me either, Tommy, I just want to donate my time. It's so important. Like, my time is everything to me. That's good too, but do them both, okay? Don't try to get out of it. So once you have all those 7 accounts set up in that one bank, remember, guys, you have emergencies, investments, debt, expenses, fun, charity, and income. All those 7 accounts have to be in that one bank. Once you have that covered, I want you to go to another bank. Tommy, I just went to one bank. What do you want me to do, bro? Well, I want you to create 2 more checking accounts. Now, what are these accounts for, bro? They're basically for 2 things. emergencies, and investments. But Tommy, I just did this over here at this bank. Don't worry about it. I'm going to tell you exactly why we just did that. These are called no temptation accounts. I'm going to break it down later on in the video. Now, here's where things actually get a little complicated. So if you're ready, you're ready. And if you're not ready, then get ready, because I want you to be focused for this part, because it's the most important part. You have the system, right? You have the goals. You know the audit. You know how much you owe. You know everything about yourself. And you also know the strategy. But now it's time for implementation, which is the most important part. You can have the blueprint. You can have the money. You can have everything. But if you don't implement anything, you're not going to succeed whatsoever. So here's where everything actually starts coming into fruition. Now, remember what I told you. You need 7 envelopes, actually 9 envelopes, or 9 accounts in your bank, right? I told you how to do it already, so let's get into it. Now, the first account, which is income, is where all the money is going to come in at once. So when all the money comes in at once, this is where it's going to go. So for example, if you get a direct deposit every single month, every single week, every single bi-week, it doesn't really matter, okay? When you get it, here's where that's going to live until we start distributing across all the other accounts, okay? Now, let's break it down. The first account I told you to make was emergencies, right? It's an account for emergencies. Now, you're going to distribute around 1 to 5% of all the money you make into this account. Now, Tommy, why only 1 to 5%? Well, if you have a very high debt ratio, meaning you owe a lot of money into debt, well, you can only afford to put in 1 to 5%. Don't do 50%. Just trust me for right now, okay? Just trust me for right now. Just do 1 to 5% and just put it into this account every single time you get paid. 1 to 5%. Now, if you have a very low debt ratio, meaning you don't really owe any money, put in a minimum of 10%. Tommy, I want to do more. No. The max you can do is 10% to 15%. Any higher than that, you're doing too much, okay? Just relax, calm down. Now, the second account, guys, is actually investments. Again, this account is for one reason: to make more money and to double your money, triple your money, whatever it is, but it's to grow your money. Now, if you have a lot of debt, 1 to 5%. Again, only 1 to 5%. Again, I do 1% because it's not going to hurt you whatsoever, and it's not going to change your life whatsoever either, okay? But you want to do between 1 to 5%. All the money that you make from that income account up here, from that direct deposit, well, is going to come in 1 to 5% into this account every single time. Now, the third account is actually debt. Now, debt is the account we're actually going to use to cover all your credit card expenses, to actually eradicate everything you actually owe. Now, here's how it's going to work, guys. This debt account that you're actually going to have is going to be responsible for paying down all your debt. Now, how much do you actually put in this, Tommy? Well, the answer is this. You're going to put in a minimum of 45% of all your money if you owe a lot of money. But Tommy, I can't do that. It's way too much money. Well, just give me a second here. If you owe a lot of money, our goal is to get rid of it completely. Because again, there's no way to invest your way out of debt. Here's why, okay? Because I'm going to make sure this, right? If you owe a lot of credit card debt, that's called bad debt. So in reality, you have to pay between like 30 to 20% every single year on interest. You want to get rid of that. Now, here's my thing. We're going to pay down this debt, your credit card debt, every single week whenever you get paid, from smallest to biggest. Why? Because again, we want to start momentum. Momentum is very important here. So you want to start the momentum of taking things down step by step. So start low, build up and build up and build up, and start like taking things down step by step. So for example, if you owe one credit card, it's like $100, and you owe another one that's like $1,000. Well, so take away that $100 one and then just put in the minimum for that other one. Okay, take it away and just keep going and going and going and going from there. If you have any questions, comment down below. I'm gonna help you. There are no excuses here, okay? But here's my thing, guys. You're not gonna wait until your bill is due. No, no, no. Whenever you get paid and you put in 45% of this account, you're gonna pay it out immediately. Pay it out immediately. Don't wait for anything. Just pay it out immediately. We're going to pay our bills before time because that's a good habit to actually have to eradicate debt. Now, while you're doing this, put away all your credit cards, okay? Put them away. Don't touch them. Don't look at them. I've seen some people that actually put them under like a box and a lock. That's good to do. Or just give them to a friend or just cut them out all completely. Don't use them whatsoever. I want you to focus on paying back that debt, not getting into more debt. But Tommy, I can't cover my bills if I don't have a credit card. The answer is this. Obviously, go back to that list of the audits, look at your needs and your wants, cut out every single want and only focus on the needs, okay? That's how you get rid of all that stuff. Again, If you can only afford to live with a credit card, you have a massive problem, and you need to watch this video more than anyone here. Now, expenses are actually capped at 50%. If you go over this, you have a problem. You have to cut things out. I don't care if you have to move out from your apartment. I don't care, okay? The problem is this. You owe way too much money, and you can't afford your lifestyle, so you have to make changes. You have to make sacrifices to get rid of all this debt that's not good in the first place. So again, we're going to have a cap of 50%, but if you have low debt, anywhere between 20 to 30% should be like your average. So anything beyond that is way too high. So you want to minimize your expenses as much as possible. You want to live a frugal lifestyle that's according to your benefit and not to the benefit of other companies, okay? That's my goal here, to make sure you're living for you and not for other companies and other people. Oh, and by the way, whenever you get paid and you put in this like 50% into these expenses, make sure you pay everything right then and there. For example, if you have rent, go get a money order and buy that money order ASAP and start paying the landlord. Say like, hey, here's your rent, or here's like percentage of the rent now, I'll pay you the rest at the end of the month when it's actually due. That way you can start getting into the habit. That money is not yours, okay? It's for your expenses. Don't get into the habit of dipping into that money to buy some lollipops, or to buy some new shoes, or buy a new coat. No, no, no. That money is not yours. Get rid of it as soon as possible and pay back those debts and pay back those expenses as soon as possible. So now, the fifth account is actually fun, right? You want to have fun, and you want to make sure you're actually having fun while doing all this. Now, the fun account is between 1 to 5% cap, okay? I recommend if you have a lot of debt, just do 1%. Why? Because you want to make sure you have at least something coming in for fun, either for Starbucks coffee, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But you want to, for example, if you get paid $1,000, 1% is $10. I'm sorry, okay? But you owe a lot of money. You can't afford to have so much fun right now. But I want you to get into the habit of having something to actually have fun with, because eventually you get into the habit of wanting more, and you're going to cap it at 5%, but you're going to have more money to actually have fun with. Now, I don't want to hear any stories of like, hey, Tommy, I don't need to have fun at all. No. I want you to follow this budget. Why? Because if you're not having fun, you're going to be miserable. Miserable, miserable, miserable. So make sure you have at least 1 to 5% of all your money, and you put it into having fun. For me, I like going on dates. I like watching movies. I like buying things on Amazon, like brushes that I definitely don't need because I don't even have long hair. But I like buying things, and that's how I actually have fun, okay? That's what I do. Now, when it comes to charity, if you owe a lot of money, do 1%. If you don't owe a lot of money, do a minimum of 1 to 10%. Don't do any more of that, okay? Because a lot of people out there want to do like 50%, but that's not really healthy. Because you want to make sure you want to take care of yourself. You're going to take care of other people also. Kind of like when you're on the plane and tell like, hey, put on your mask first before anyone else. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, how are you supposed to take care of anyone else? You know, doesn't make any sense, okay? So again, charity, 1%. So every time you get paid and you put in 1% into charity, make sure, okay, make sure you put in this money into that and you pay it out instantly. Don't wait for anything. So again, guys, now you have a strategy, a blueprint. You know where you are, you know your goals, and now you have the examples of the percentages and everything like that. You have everything you absolutely need to actually get started. Now again, if you can't find a bank to actually create these accounts for you, keep looking. And if you can't find one, create 9 envelopes. Put that money in there every single time you get paid and separate it. Don't touch it. Don't try to dip into one account to pay another one. Don't do that. If you don't respect the system, you won't succeed. Now, guys, don't forget this. Make sure all these accounts add up to 100%. If it's over, you need to adjust your expenses and what you actually spend your money on. Now, remember also to pay down your lowest amounts on credit card debts. Why? Because you want to build momentum. It's not about like paying it down like super fast. It's about building momentum. The third thing is this, guys. Prepay all your expenses. I don't want you to have extra money there and then use it for something else you shouldn't have to, okay? Prepay all your expenses. And the fourth thing is this. Do this budget, okay? Do it. Don't try to switch it up. Just do it. Just trust me, please. If you do this budget and you DM me and tell me, Tommy, it didn't work, I'm going to spend 10 hours with you. I promise. 10 hours with you, talking with you on the phone and telling you exactly where you went wrong and trying to help you. Because again, this works. It switched me from a broke college student to owing a lot of money to being now where I am right now and earning around $10,000, well, near $10,000 every single month net. It's insane. It can change your life too. I'm not special. No one's special. You can do the exact same thing I'm doing here. So comment down below and let me know. Does this make sense? Does it not make sense? Comment down below. Let me know. And before I go, I want you to make a promise to me, okay? Put your hand on your brush. I don't have a Bible, okay? Put your hand on your brush and tell me right now. Tell me, Tommy, I'm going to try this out for the next 180 days, okay? That's 2 quarters. That's 2 months, okay? It's 2 months. It's 3 months, okay? I want to try this out for the next 180 days, okay? If you try it out for 180 days and it doesn't work for you, call me. DM me and I'll personally call you and tell you where you went wrong. This works, okay? It works, it works, it works. And I'm giving you this information here for free. And my job, guys, is to try my best, my hardest to make a change, because so many people wait until they make more money to pay down their debts, or they wait to like invest money. No, I want you to start doing everything right now. Everything. If you're wondering, tell me, where do I invest? I do Acorn. I also do ETF investments. I also do real estate investing. So it's all about creating this budget. Now, I haven't forgotten, guys. You made it all the way to the end of the video. I know that you're serious. So I'm going to give you the information right now. Remember those 2 other accounts that I gave you? Remember those 2 ones? Every single week, whenever you get paid, I want you to move your emergency account and investment account over to those accounts, but I don't want you to touch it whatsoever. I don't even want you to have an app to that account. Why? Because these are called no temptation accounts. So I don't want you to look at these accounts. I just want you to put money into those accounts. Never touch it unless you're going to use that investment account to actually invest that money into something. So every single month I invest $500. That's what I do. I put that money into that. So in that way, I don't touch that money, and I shouldn't touch it unless I'm actually investing that money. Now, guys, as always, if you like this video, go ahead and like it. I really appreciate it. Share this video with your friends if you think anyone would benefit from this video. On top of that, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And if you want to do me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. DM me, please, if you have any questions. I'm going to be open there. I'm going to be answering all your DMs, okay? On top of that, if you want to watch more videos, click this one right here. Or if you want to subscribe to the channel, click my face right here. You subscribe instantly, I promise. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.